I feel like the past few months have been very trying for many of you. There's a lot to do. There are a lot of people depending on you. I just feel like, the lattice on a pie, okay? Like it's layered, it's woven in, everything is interconnected, and it's really hard to extract one thing from another. That's what it feels like to me. And I feel like, you might have had a lot of things, like a lot of situations you're trying to find answers to. You're trying to find resolutions for, you're trying to figure out the best course of action. And I feel that energy might have, surfaced during the month of November, because November was that Mercury retrograde period. And I feel like it brought about a lot of uncertainty, especially for water signs, where they felt like this sense of urgency to have to act, to have to take action, to have to do things, but with like without full information. So I do feel like, that energy is bleeding into the month of December. And so I hope this video provides some clarity for you, okay? Because I feel like the energy is a little bit stuck and a little bit uncomfortable. So the first image that I saw was that pie, okay? It's some type of a fruit pie, so it's like some type of berries. It could be cherries, it could be strawberries, something red, like even like, you know, cherries, something red. So even a rhubarb pie. And it's really beautiful. It smells really good. There's steam coming out of it. It just came out of the oven, and there's the lattice, okay? And everything is done meticulously well. Like if it's a lattice, like hand woven pie, it was done really, really well. And so I feel like there is a situation here where something really, really good can come out of it. It's presented in a way where it's like packaged perfectly. But I do sense that it's also a situation where it might come with strings attached. It might come with conditions, because the lattice, the interwovenness, the interrelated, topping on top of that pie, it indicates to me a situation where it could be a little bit difficult to extract yourself from. There are a lot of factors that you have to take into account in order to make something presentable, in order to bring something to fruition, in order to enjoy something. So that's what I'm sensing, okay? So that's the first image. And I feel like this first image is somebody that you're dealing with, okay? I feel like you and this person, so for some of you, it's a family member. For others of you, it's a person like like a relationship partner. You might be separated from this person. You're trying to finalize a divorce. You're trying to get out of Dodge. You're trying to get out of their life. But for whatever reason, they might not, they might not want to give you full custody of the children. They might want the house. They might not sign the divorce papers. So it's like there's some lingering attachment, and you're trying to find a way to give them like a peace offering. Or everyone is like wanting a piece of the pie. And so it's really difficult for you to come up with, how to slice it, how to divide it, how to give it to somebody, how much to give to somebody, so that they get what they want, but you also get a piece of the pie. You also get what you want. Okay, so I feel like there is a common pool here of resources, possibly money, financial assets. And I feel that you're trying to figure out how to divvy it up. You're trying to also think about what is the best offer that you can get, or somebody can get. What is an acceptable offer? What is a good middle ground? What is a good compromise? And the lattices are all the extraneous things and all the things that you have to factor into this decision-making process. So I see a lot of like dividing up assets. I see a lot of like wanting to hash out the terms of a contract so that both parties can agree on certain things. And then I also feel as if for those of you with children, grandchildren even, Or if you don't have your own children, you might do a lot of like, financial planning, thinking about like your power of attorney, thinking about how much you want to leave to this child, that child, this grandkid, that grandkid, this niece, this nephew. And so you're factoring in all the stuff. So for example, this child is your favorite and is the most responsible and is the most hardworking. You're like, they deserve more. But then this child over here is a little bit more irresponsible, has more children, is less financially stable. So you feel that, on the one hand, I want to give this child everything, but on the other hand, this child needs more of my time and my resources. So I feel like you're trying to grapple with these decisions where you want it to be equitable, you want it to be fair, but at the same time, you want to give it to people who are deserving of it, okay? So I feel like you're grappling with some major financial decisions. You're grappling between, I also feel like this sense of like loyalty, where your emotions are swaying you and where your loyalties lie. Okay, so that's the message I got with this pie. The other message is quite interesting because it keeps zooming out. It's almost like a slinky. There's one layer and then it like expands, and then there's another ring, and then it expands and there's another ring. So let me just describe what I saw. Maybe it'll make more sense, okay? I see this house. It's a little cottage, like a little cabin, probably 2-bedroom cabin where people go to stay, for a few nights, and they go hunting, they go bobsledding, whatever it is. It's in the North Pole, so it's snow covered. There's a lot of pine trees covered in snow. The ground is completely covered in snow, and the snow is not falling, so the cottage is just covered in snow. And then I feel like I'm not hearing any noise, okay? So this is like in the dead of winter, there's a lot of snow. And all of a sudden I hear like buzzing, like a very distinct buzzing, electricity buzzing noise. And then it kind of zooms into the sky and you see like the northern lights, okay? You see like the waves of color coming in, and as the colors come in, the magentas and the blues and the greens and the purples, it's almost like an orchestra. The chiming, the buzzing, the ambient noise that comes in with this wave of colors. It's really beautiful. It's very calm. And when I saw this, I was thinking like, the universe is trying to give you messages. They hear that you're in a space where you need some guidance. They also hear that you're in a space where you're taking on a lot of responsibilities and you feel a little bit overwhelmed. And they're really encouraging you, sequester yourself in this cabin, drown out the noise, drown out the people, focus on yourself, listen to that inner voice, and listen to the spirit trying to talk to you, because you're looking for answers and they're here to give you answers. So keep in mind the image that I saw in all of the images, the pie, and then also this cabin in the Arctic. There's no noise. The only noise is this, like the orchestra, okay? The orchestra noise, the twinkling, and then the buzzing, and it sounds like wind chimes almost, where there's a message that is trying to come through to you, but you're very busy. You have a lot on your plate. You are possibly a little bit stressed out. So you're not able to hear the twinkling, the nuances, and the subtleties that are coming through in the picture for you. And so from that image, it zooms out, and there's another image. And I see like a watery scene. And it's like a pond, a very shallow pond or a very shallow lake or like a stream. And there are 2 koi fish, okay? One is like red and white. The other one has black and orange, like black dots. It's predominantly orange and it's black. And they're swimming in circles. And you know the symbol for you guys, the Piscean symbol is the two fish swimming in opposite directions in a circle. In this image, I'm seeing that they're just swimming in circles. Like there might be a situation where you're emotionally the water that I'm seeing. It's a shallow body of water, and just the koi fish, beautiful, vibrant colored koi fish swimming in circles. Um, I feel like, it denotes like a situation where you're emotionally very invested in a person or a situation. And because you're so emotionally invested, you're not able to make a decision. So you're proverbially like just going in circles, going round and round and round, not being able to reach a resolution. For some of you, this could be a relationship, parent-child relationship, where you're not able to cut the umbilical cord. Okay, so forgive me for being frank. I feel that you've always helped this person, subsidized their life, provided financial resources, and they might be draining to you emotionally, financially, physically. You give a lot of yourself. You guys are really generous, loving people, and especially if you're emotionally invested in a person and you care about them, it's really hard for you to kind of like extract yourself. And so you're emotionally invested, you don't see a way out, you're swimming in circles. And then I also feel for you, this might be a relationship that you're in. The other person really loves you. It's kind of like codependent, but I feel like they need you a lot more than you need them. So like I said, the water is shallow. And what that means is I feel that you don't need them as much as they need you. And you're wanting to leave the relationship, but you don't know how, because it stings your heart to have to break up with them. It stings your heart to have to hurt this person. And it stings your heart because you're not happy in the relationship and you want to find a way out. Okay? And then it zooms out again. And the last image that I saw was another snowy scene. There's like some type of a tree. It's some type of a fir, like a pine tree. And I'm seeing kind of like the bottom of the tree trunk near the ground. And then I see this white bunny, really fluffy white bunny, prancing around in the snow. And he kind of looks around. I don't know if it's a he or a she. He looks around and then he crawls kind of like near the trunk, the bottom of the trunk of the tree, burrows himself in, and then you see like little baby bunnies like that he's coming home to. Okay, bringing something to the little ones that are like hiding inside the tree for warmth, for shelter, for protection. And the big bunny, the big rabbit is bringing home some food, some nourishment, or just, being there to protect the babies, okay? And so when the image are just kind of like layered and layered upon one another in this way, so in total you have 4 images, and this is the most amount of images that I've seen for a sign. And you're like the 11th video that I've done, so it seems to me like there is a situation where there is a lot of factors coloring your judgment, coloring your decision-making process. There's the element of like, it's like a mixture of love and loyalty. Okay, so like you love one person, you're loyal to another. And you care about both. There's also the element of like familial protection, wanting to take care of what's yours, wanting to take care of your babies, wanting to take care of your kids. But at the same time, they need to be able to fend for themselves. So you're grappling with this decision. Do I cut the umbilical cord? And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. Do I let them, out into the world so that they can fend for themselves, so that they can learn, so that they can become stronger, more sensible people? Or do I try to protect them as much as I can? So it's like, I feel really strongly there's this, paternal, it's kind of like an override mode, okay, where you're emotionally invested in a situation and you become very protective of it. You care for it. You want to take over. And it's telling you not to override, to not resort to that, because we have to learn a little bit of like loving detachment, okay? So there's a situation here. There are a lot of decisions that you're making for the month of December. It seems like everywhere you turn, there's a decision, You're hypervigilant, like that bunny. You're looking around, scanning the horizon for probably pet predators that could hurt you, that could hurt the people that you love. I also feel like, everything is just really complicated, okay? And so let's move away from the images and let's talk about the cards a little bit. I mentioned before, there's a person that you're trying to walk away from, and I feel like whether or not they are aware of it, I feel like they're trying every trick in the book to get you to stay, whether or not they're aware of it. They could do it like unintentionally, where you're just like, okay, I'm gonna go, and then they get really sick, and then they call you and they say they need you, and then you feel bad, and then you want to take care of this person. So I feel like there's a lot more pity than love in this type of a relationship. What I have here is the Nine of Pentacles. This is independence, self-sufficiency, being single, being untethered and free from other people, standing your ground, being in a position where you have a lot of financial abundance and a lot of just, you're able to take care of yourself. And the only thing that's standing between you and being completely emotionally free and untethered is a relationship that might be a little bit toxic. We have the devil here. Codependence, somebody who's like reeling you in, somebody who wants to have you to themselves, who don't want you to, leave them. You might be dealing with a relationship partner who is quite possessive or a little bit jealous. And when they see you, if you want to have like a girl's night or a guy's night, they might like, they might not like it, and they might make like, snark or snide comments to belittle you or to like prevent you from having fun on your own without them. So just be careful about that energy, especially for those of you. I mean, this energy affects people of all ages. We need to be cognizant of that. But at the same time, I feel like some of you might be a little bit on the younger age bracket watching this. Guilt tripping is not love. It is manipulation, emotional manipulation. Okay? And so just make sure you set your boundaries. This is all about setting your boundaries, being cognizant of the unhealthy behavior the other person is exhibiting, and not turning a blind eye to it, okay? So this is an ostrich. He's hiding his head under the sand. It's like denial, putting up with a situation, unwilling to acknowledge a situation, unwilling to admit that there's a problem, unwilling to see it for what it is, okay? So denial. And so I feel like there's a situation here. It is toxic. It is not love. It doesn't mean the other person is bad, because I feel like, they might like subconsciously do these things. subconsciously sabotage you every time you want to go out. They're like, oh no, I need you to help to drive me to this place, you know, or something's wrong with my car, can you help me? And you have to turn down your girlfriends or your boyfriends in order to be with this person, to help them with whatever, you know, situations going on in their life. Put yourself first and be wary of this situation, because I feel like you are flattered that this person, you know, really needs you, because I feel like a lot of Piscean people, you want to take care of other people. You are very giving and very loving of other people. And you give a lot of yourself to people you care about. Like, you overextend and you overgive. And I do sense it is time for you to pull back and take care of yourself, okay? Put yourself in that cabin in the North Pole. Take care of yourself. Drown out the noise and the problems from other people. They're more than capable of taking care of themselves. So that you can reserve that space of solitude and quiet, so that you can listen to advice from the universe with whatever it is that you need to make decisions on. Because I feel like other people are coming in, distracting you from the decisions that you need to make for yourself. Not for them, for yourself. So there's a lot of, there's a situation here where I feel like you're extending, you know, like that slinky, just like coiling, extending, stretching and extending. You might be stretched very thin, helping other people. And you're feeling it physically and emotionally, that you're not able to continue doing this. You mentally, you understand that, and you might understand what I'm saying, but physically and emotionally, you're not ready to take the advice.